Rangers Journal.
Hello and welcome to the Rangers Journal. My name is Kai Watson and today we're going to talk about why I think Rangers should look into signing Lennon Miller. Apparently the club has scouts watching a pre-season friendly against Livingston the other week. Obviously a very talented young player, he's only 17, he's going to turn 18 in August. Plenty of first team experience for Motherwell so far. There was rumours Italian teams were looking at him and also interest from elsewhere. You can obviously see that with the success that the likes of Bologna have had with signing Conor Barron. Aaron Hickey obviously went to Italy as well. So I think the Scottish market is one that a lot more European clubs are going to look at now, considering some of the success that players have had since going there. We've obviously got quite a few national team players in the Premier League. Obviously, have Ferguson thriving in Italy as well as Hickey was doing. So it's a league that clubs are going to look at more now, going to look at players who are younger. I think Lennon Miller, potentially one of the better prospects we've had in the Scottish Premiership coming through. You can obviously see he plays like a much more experienced player if you've watched him play. So we're going to talk about why I think Rangers should look into signing him. Again, I think it's a no-brainer, but hopefully if you don't, I'll be able to convince you that it's your body that we're looking at. So let's get started. We'll start off looking at the article that was linking Miller with Rangers. So the article states, youth is the way forward at Ibrox it seems with 4 or 5 new faces coming in 21 or under, backup keeper Liam Kelly being the only exception, and it seems that's a theme that's set to continue. Football Scotland reports that Rangers have scouted one of Kelly's former teammates, teenage midfield sensation Lennon Miller. It's believed scouts from Ibrox were in attendance for the 2-1 victory over Livingston, where the 17-year-old started and played a role in the winning goal. Miller has long been viewed as one of the most exciting young players in Scotland with a big future ahead of him, and his contract is due to expire in 2025. That leaves Motherwell in a similar position to the one they were in with David Turnbull before he's moved to Celtic in 2020, and Rangers may hope to capitalise. Don't think there's anything really new in that article between Cogman and Clement. They obviously said they'd be looking at Scottish talent. They've obviously brought in Conor Barron this summer, so I don't think that's anything that's going to shock people, especially that had scouts watching Miller. But it's just interesting that it's been picked up now. Again, like the article says, his contract expires in 2025. Although we would have previously been desperate to sell this summer probably to get some funds in, but the fact they've just sold Theo Bair maybe lessens the need to sell. They might be hoping that Miller might sign a new deal even if they just get an extra year on that to 2026, and then obviously he's not in the last year of his deal and they could potentially get the money next summer. I don't think Mother will be keen to sell without getting a kind of premium price for him. You're probably looking at around 3 to 4 million. They'll also probably want to sell on as well because they'll know the potential that he has. So Motherwell aren't mugs. They got a good deal for Turnbull when it came around. Just got a good deal for Theo Bair considering as much as I like Barry only really had a good last 3 or 4 months of the season. And after signing him for nothing last year, they managed to get around, I think it was €1.5 million for him. There's probably a bit of a sell on there as well. So they've done really good business. And I think they'd probably be looking for a premium for Miller. So let's have a look into some of these numbers from last season. So if you didn't know, obviously we're talking about Lennon Miller, 17 years old. Like I said, he's going to be 18 next month. Scottish, 6 foot, currently plays for Motherwell. Transfer market having valued at 1.2 million. Looking at his key stats, 25 appearances last season, 20 from the start, 0 goals and 2 assists. Under 70% pass accuracy, 35.1% long ball accuracy, 0.61 chances created per 90, 72.7% dribble success per 90 foul, 2.29 times per 90, 7.58 recoveries per 90 and 68.2% duels won. Looking at those numbers, the thing that probably sticks out a lot to people is the under 70% pass accuracy. I don't think it's something to worry about if you watch Miller play. He does try to thread those balls through, tries to pass through the line. I think it's something that should be discouraged. I don't know if it's again potentially the quality of player he's playing with or if it's decision making. Like I said, he's only 17 years old. If it's decision making, then fair enough. It's something that can be improved as he gets more experience and plays with better players. But I don't think it's a concern right now. Again, like I said, I don't think you should discourage players from trying to pass through the lines and try to get the ball forward. Again, you look at the positives of that, the dribble success over 70%, the fact that he's filled 2.2 times, 2.29 times per 90. He's really good at getting on the ball, he's good at getting past players, he's got a really clever first touch when you look how he turns away from players, comfortable taking the ball under pressure, something that perhaps we didn't have midfielders were capable of last season, but the fact he's willing and able to do that at 17 just shows the potential that he can have. He's done it for Motherwell. You can see, we've seen the assist he got against Celtic when Blair Spittle scored. He gets the ball, turn past the defender, opens up the space, lays it into Blair Spittle. It's a brilliant finish, but the turn from Miller probably makes the goal. It makes the space. It's an easy enough pass to make, and it's a brilliant finish from Spittle. But just look at moments of quality like that. Like if you're producing that at 17 years old, just think how good he could be in 2, 3 years' time. I think it's a deal you look at, you bring him in now, and if he keeps progressing the way he is, if he keeps getting first team football, keeps performing at the level he has been, and just progresses and progresses over the next couple of years, then you're looking at potentially massive profit. The silky touches and the passes through the lines are obviously something that are going to make the highlights a lot more, but you look at those defensive numbers 7.5 out recoveries per 1968.2% duels won. Those are brilliant numbers. They show a midfielder that knows where to be positionally, picks up a lot of loose balls. He knows where to position himself on the pitch to pick up the ball deep. It's just something that you don't really see from players of that age. It's why I said earlier on he plays like a much more experienced player. Like positioning is probably one of the hardest things to get right in football. I'd say positioning, decision making are up there with the most difficult things to get right. And if you can get the positioning right at that young age, obviously we spoke about the kind of pass accuracy numbers and how we look for them to be improved. But decision making again is something that proves with experience, and so is positioning normally. But Miller's position is so good right now that you don't need to focus on that. You can focus on the decision making and anything else that you kind of want to improve in his game. You can focus on that instead of worrying about him knowing where to be on the pitch, because like I said, even at 17, he knows where to be, he knows where to pick up those loose balls at the base of midfield. I mean, almost 70% duels won is incredible. He's also good in the air as well. Like those defensive things are something that a lot of people might not see if you don't watch him, because when you look at the highlights, it's all turns and taking it past players and cross field passes through balls. That's kind of what you see in the highlights and shots at goal. But you don't see those things unless you watch them. But even just looking at the numbers, like having that many recoveries per 90 and winning that percentage of duels just shows the defensive ability as well. It's not just a case of oh he's really technical. Like he's very smart on and off the ball. And again, the position, it's not something that you should really underrate, like how important that is for the base of the midfield. If he's going to be the deepest lying midfielder, like he's going to be the one that picks the ball up and stops opposing players running at defence. So again, it's paramount to a player that wants to play that deep, that wants to sit there, that wants to get on the ball, that they need to know where to be. And thankfully, it's something that Miller's managed to pick up really early in his career. He's a player that I really enjoy watching play, and one I genuinely think can make it to the top of the game if he keeps progressing the way he is. One of my favourite ever midfielders to watch, and he kind of reminds me a bit of him, is missing Dembele at Tottenham. The way he can kind of take the ball under pressure, drive forward with the ball, hold off opponents, win the duels. It's just that ability to know where to be and know what to do with your first touch, which obviously seems really simple as a professional footballer. You'd be expecting that they're thinking ahead and know what to do when they get on the ball. But it's not always the case, and it's not always what we've seen with our midfielders last season. I think Miller's the type of player that he knows what he's going to do before he gets the ball. It helps him make space, it helps him turn away from defenders, and that's where I think the Mr. Dembele comparison comes in for me. He's not as strong, he doesn't have that kind of same frame as Dembele, but he's very intelligent. Like I say, he picks up loads of loose balls, he knows where to be defensively, he knows where to position himself, and when he gets on the ball, he knows how to make space for himself, knows how to make space for others. So again, that's where that comparison comes from me, and Dembele's one of my favourite ever midfielders to watch. And I think I'm really enjoying watching Miller right now, and I'd obviously love to see him come in at Rangers. How would you feel about Rangers signing Lennon Miller? Is he a player you think the club should be looking at, and what's the kind of max fee that you would go to? I think there's rumours that Mother will be expecting either 3 or 4 million, potentially a sell, and do you think that's too much? Would you pay the three? Would you go as high as the four? Again, sell-ons are massive in football now. It's what all clubs want. They're only really releasing their young players when they add a sell on in, because they know they're going to get even more back if they can't get the maximum what they're going to be worth. So what's the highest you would go to? Again, is there a player you think we should be looking at? Is there any other kind of younger Scottish players you'd like me to do a video like this on? So leave some comments down below and let me know. The lads are going to be live tonight, going over a Juan Jordan interview that we're going to do with a Spanish journalist. So look out for that tonight. And again, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.